And just all of that energy in this basin. It is entertainment squared and cubed. Looking forward now to women's first semi. Checking out Molly Picklum from Australia, taking on Vahine Fierro. From Vahine has been really outstanding. Molly definitely seems to be zeroing in terms of that grit that she shows, and of course the unbelievable skill level as well. She'll need to bring that here. Our first semi for the women underway will be the Aussie Molly Picklum getting involved. Just gives that a little touch, doesn't want to do too much on that third maneuver before she goes into the barrel. Such an accomplished tube rider. A little extra bit of drainage there for Mol. And then out she come. And just carving, not the fastest carve we've ever seen on the face. And maybe a touch off time. Gets better there with a steeper section late into the tube. Well done.
Pushing the trolley.
And out she comes. And Mol belting it for a finish. So from a mid part of the wave where maybe just didn't quite have the momentum, cleaned it up really well for the tube.
I liked it. It's just a measured approach, the first wave. She's going to apply some serious pressure here. Feels good to get a completion too.
Right and left across.
It's a really slow one.
Yeah, you have to hold it for a while before you look back the other way. We're about to see Molly go back the other way now on her left. Here she goes. Picklum, 7.5, solid for her on the right. Being patient. She's so good in the tube. Looking to try and use those skills right here. Oh, gets real deep, gets completely swallowed. Molly will go down, so unable to do much with the left. She's all right. That's what the tap on the head means. But in terms of points, she would have wanted possibly, might need quite a bit more than that.
Well, she's coming up against Vahine, right? And we've spoken about Vahine's barrel riding all event, how deep she's gotten in the tube. So I just feel that she's probably like, okay, I need to maximize the time here. Let's have a real crack. Molly also really good in the tube. We've seen it all last year. We've seen just how good her transition is in the barrel.
Has been enjoying some opportunities on the championship tour, but she is part of the rookie class, guaranteed for the first 7 stops. If she can make the cut, she'll have a complete season and try to compete for the world title. She'll be at Cloudbreak this year. Nice clean start. I love how smooth she can get on her backhand and springs into action when she has a good section hit. That third turn looking so nice. Skips the barrel, continue to hit the lip, comes down with the whitewater section there. Flowing like water. That's the book she's reading right now, and she's just executing smooth transitions. Fierro puts her head down, lead arm guiding her out. The wind up and absolutely crushing finishing moves. 2-turn combination to follow the barrel ride. Off to a great start, and a really good comparison will be made to Molly Picklum's right. Molly got the 7.5, Vahine's in the mix.
I mean, as soon as I saw that first wave from Molly, I've noticed a little bit of an increase on the winds for the rights being offshore. And first thing that came to mind was just Vahine. Her point of difference is that entry to the barrel and the barrel ride, how she's able to get very deep on her backhand. And right here, because of the wind, she has to opt to go around. Mostly in her backhand gets very tricky to ride with all that water coming on her face. And just as you see right here, she's going to start timing it very nicely. Springing off the top. And then that second section gets a little bit more throaty because it bowls out at you, so she was able to get nice and deep there and finish it off with 2 nice turns. But great way to start and apply.
Fierro starts with a 6 compared to Molly's 7.5, but now Vahine will be on her front side for the left. Just a setup turn to get this one going. Leans back, and she's going to pay for it. Trying to draw a different line on her second turn. So almost some similarities there. Molly fell on the left as well.
I really liked what I saw there. I feel like she has to go for broke in order to beat Molly. And mostly because Molly fell on her left. Like, she still have a huge gap of improvement on the last left she's going to ride. So important decision there. I think, in my opinion, for Vahine, you're going to see she's going to start with that nice first snap, setting up for the next turn. There's a drawn out layback carve. You're gonna see that back arm is gonna sustain her in the water, and she drags all that inside rail. Beautiful turn from her, but just applies a little bit too much pressure on that front foot. What would you do in that situation with the 7-5 already such a high score on the right and needing to better, needing the energy to better on that last left?
I think you just wouldn't want it to come down to a 0.5 decision. I'd be swinging for an 8 at least, looking for improvement, but she's got a good pace, nice rhythm, pulls in. At this point of the event, they're just doing this on feel. They know what each section feels like. Pushing harder, little extended slide, puts her in a great spot to drill it again. 2 big moves for Picklum. Attacks it, flows into the hollow part of the wave. Let's see if she changes gears on her finish. She's been loving a carve, this time a grab rail, Caity, and has enough room to throw down a few more extras, and she'll step off.
You're right, Joe. You're definitely right. And that's the case scenario of having an identical wave come for you after you already have a sustained, solid foundation on your first wave. You just know you need to push a little bit harder. Have the same line, but push harder. And that's exactly what she did. And the most damage was done on this turn right here, setting herself up for success on that beautiful tube ride. But even more on the last few turns before the barrel, you're gonna see her. She's gonna do this nice finner right there, and now she's gonna push a lot, way more than she has been doing. At least on top of the coping right there. Point of difference, aggressive. Getting the fins free, which is very technical and hard to control, and finish it off strong. Like, I mean, I personally like this wave better. Let's see what the judges think. But that's what I'm talking about. She's going to press on that back foot, and now she's going to start transferring weight to the front foot. You see how on top of her front leg she is, and that helps her get the fins disengaged. And she does that once again, but a little bit less, and you can see the difference in approach of her stance and balance on top of the board right there. A little bit more balanced it out, but the first turn really pushing the back foot and transferring all that weight to the front foot to get that nice.
Creative for Molly Picklum just to lay down some big turns, push a bit harder than her wave before, and here comes her left. You can see it starts off real slopey and then starts building. Usually by your third turn, you can really crush the lip. She puts it right in the pocket, now laying low, and she's gonna hold this stance for a bit here. That's a big challenge to learn at the basin, when you just have to stay at the bottom of the wave. Make sure you don't get clipped, but she sweeps that section well. Another great backhand turn. Best maneuvers coming out of the barrel. Now pulling in, laying really low, completely disappearing, and Molly Picklum gets stuck on the end section. Only had a 193 on her left on her first run. So we will see a significant improvement there, even with the fall in the barrel. And then improving on the 867, I think she's still in a good spot.
I mean, and that was the importance to Joe of her actually going for it on that right, because now with that huge gap as so far as what we see in front of us, obviously Vahine still has 2 waves to be served, but that gap could make a big difference. Even her falling off on that last barrel on this wave here, and as you see it, she's a little bit more timid on that wave. She's still confident, but she's not trying to push too hard because she knows she doesn't need to. She already has a massive score on the right. She just needed to finish this wave. That was a very sketchy section right there. She almost nosedive. And then right here unleashes another turn. It feels like she was setting herself up for success, but just a little bit too late. Needed that pump to be a little bit with more energy. As you see, this is the turn I'm talking about, right after the barrel. The wave's still bottoming out. She gets up in vertical. Beautiful, very technical, critical. Almost get that nose dug in. Still comes out clean. Pushes on that turn even nicer. Driving through more. Relaying on those fins at that inside rail to get some good spray out the back.
One of the most powerful surfers on this tour. Vahine achieving her 4th career CT semifinal. 3 previous were wild card opportunities. Nice, clean, stylish way to set up and stall for the barrel. A little bit out in front, so she's switching gears. Big connection there. Using the whitewater well. Nice swipe there. And now laying low, setting up the backhand barrel. Stall really early, and she will keep her head down to make it. She's been really consistent with these backside turns at the very tail end of the wave, getting 3 in, and she'll step off. So had the 6.0 on her first try. And I guess when you break it down into sections, when you look out the back, you know, the bummer for her was just pulling in and not getting barreled. That's that downtime she wished she could take back and have just kept on swinging for the lip.
I agree with you, Joe, and also that sets you up a little bit behind usually. That section runs pretty fast. Great timing for her. The only thing, like if I'm in comparison with Molly, sometimes it's more, she has more timing and she throws spray upwards because of just the precision of that, but Molly has been laying a little bit more on the rail, like relaying on that. And that's sometimes kind of obvious, obviously, because she's on her back foot, so you tend to be pivot more off your back foot instead of driving through the turns. But that was a very similar wave to her previous right. Let's see what the judges are going to think. Beautiful snap right there, and that's what I'm talking. Look at the timing, like just clean rails all the time. Rarely ever hitting the foam, you know. Just when she does, she just goes above that, making sure the spray gets thrown out the back. See it once again, perfect timing as that lip was coming down.
Then with the Kelly Slater Waveco technology, great construction by Modon. They've created a perfect wave here in the Middle East. Watch this, big blast there from Vahine. That was the turn that got her on her first try. This time she stays overboard. Getting really low. Gets a nice frontside 2. Little chatter on the face. Now she's winding up for it. Hits the lip well. Leans back just to switch gears on her carves. Hits the lip. Nice drawn out bottom turn. Pulling in super deep on the end, and Fierro gets caught. Chasing a 7.78. It will be her keeper left since she fell on her first run on her second turn. The sunset, and hey, you pick up all these bits of details from all these great surfing minds.
Job as well, Jamie O'Brien at Pipeline before.
Gosh, so many. List goes on and on. Shane Beshin even before that.